Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of House of Ways and Means. So we're still in our series on student debt repayment, but guess what? This is the last video. We are video number 7 and we are talking about how to save money on your groceries. So, when it comes to saving money on our groceries, what are some things that we do?
Well, I want to say the first thing that we do is to try to identify our menu for the week. So that's like the first kind of priority for us. Sometimes we go as far as 2 weeks in advance just so that we can see what it is that we want to make. We arrange whatever activities we have in the schedule that may already include food, so that we can kind of exclude those days in the menu, or at least, kind of appropriately identify what those days are, put that in our little spreadsheet. Listen, we use a spreadsheet for everything, okay? Grocery list, food menu, everything. It works, it keeps us organized. It's a shared Google document, once again, so it's pretty easy.
Yeah, and the benefit we see in, making a menu out at least a week, preferably 2, is that it helps you avoid being in a position where you don't know what you're going to eat that night. Because when that happens, you end up in a situation where you end up getting fast food, or you just go with whatever you have the taste for in the moment, which may not necessarily be cost effective. So I think it's really important that when you have things planned out, you make sure you do that, and it keeps you from blowing through your budget and doing things that you don't plan to do just on a spur of a moment.
So what is one of the key things that we use when we are creating our menu?
Circulars. Now, not everybody's going to want to do things this way, but what we like to do is we first identify what is on sale, and then we go about planning our menu based on that. If we can pick up things at a discount, then, our menu for the week and our groceries for that week automatically become cheaper. We may look at what meat is on sale in a certain week, and then we may plan our meals for the week around that. We'll plan lunch as well. We'll cook for the week. And I know a lot of people say, oh, we just don't have time. Yeah, well, what we like to do is on Sunday or a Saturday, just a weekday, you go and make your food for the week. So you make everything on the same day, portion it out into Tupperware, and then you already have your stuff, so you're not tempted to go buy food at work. Now, I know some of you are going to say, ew, I don't like leftovers, they're nasty. Look, stop being a baby, all right? This is how you can go about getting your nutrition if you're on a specific diet, planning out your meals so you don't have to pay extra money, and it'll help you save, and that extra money will go towards your student loan payments.
Right. So just like Mean said, as far as like the lunch goes, I'm very particular about, what I eat for lunch. So maybe 1 or 2 days, I'm like, after 1 or 2 days rather, I'm kind of like, I'm not really interested in eating this anymore. Maybe I want to eat something else. And then because of the way that I eat, I tend to eat like 5 small meals a day. So maybe I might eat, maybe the lunch chicken or whatever, and a vegetable or something, and then later on I might have fruit or whatever, but it helps me to kind of break up the day, and I don't have to necessarily cook for every single meal. So it does help to have those prepared meals ahead of time, so that I'm not doing that.
But you also put your snacks into the menu you write up, so we know when we're at the supermarket, hey, she might want some fruit, you might want some baby carrots to snack on, yogurt, whatever. We know that we're going to buy that, and we know then that we're able to fit it into our budgeted amount, so we don't go over, because we're tracking it all through the month. Now, another thing I think that is really helpful for us, wherever we live, we make sure we get to know and familiarize ourselves with all the grocery stores in the area. And that could extend out even to a Walmart, a super Walmart, if you have those in your area where they carry groceries as well. But get to know your local supermarkets, get apprised of their circulars. Now these days you can find them online. But what I think that does is a lot of people, they grew up or their parents going to a specific store and they have this store in their neighborhood, it's in their city, and they only look for that store and they go to it all the time. So that's good, but a lot of different stores will have different prices for different items. And it's good when you familiarize yourself, you get to know, hey, this store has these things for cheaper, this store has these things. The circular, when they have the circular that comes out, they typically put these things on sale. Now, that's not to say that you have to be ridiculous about it. I mean, if a store has a certain item for 10 cents less, you don't need to be going cross town. I mean, use your common sense.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
Because you're going to waste more gas than you're going to save.
Right. So I think the other thing too that we should be mindful of is, again, knowing your strengths in this process, because for me, I don't remember the price of the majority of the grocery items that we purchase. If you're the person, if this is an individual budget and this may not be your thing either, then maybe it would make sense for you to make a list. You know, when you do your grocery list, also include the cost of those items, and you can kind of keep like a tally of, especially things that you buy, you know, pretty frequently, you know, like milk, eggs, butter, things like that. Like, keep an idea of like the cost on some side, maybe the right side of your grocery list budget, so that you don't have to kill yourself out to try to remember it. Luckily for me, I married somebody who's all about money and financing and all of that, so I don't have to remember that. The things I remember the cost of are things like Snickers, you know, like cereal, like that's what I could do. Like, you know, I could figure that stuff out. But when it comes to like sugar or flour, if it's better to get it at Aldi's versus Walmart, like that's him. That's what he figures out, and it just makes it easier, because as we're also making our grocery list, we also identify which stores we're gonna pick up those items from.
And one last quick point that Wade's already mentioned, but I want to bring it out a little further, is that you got to use a grocery list that is on Google Sheets, a shared document that you make sure that you update in real time, so that the other person, if you're operating in a partner situation as we are, so they know what the current situation is. Because there's nothing worse than having an item on the list and then one day say, oh, I'm going to go ahead and surprise Waze by going to the grocery store so you don't have to worry about it. But then little do I know that she already earlier in the day bought the same thing. So when we get home, we got 2, 3, 4 jars of pickles in the fridge now. What are you going to do with them? So, you know, make sure you're updating your Google Sheets. And this goes for your grocery list, the budget as well, the budget template as well, because when you keep things updated in real time, that's really the benefit of using a tool that's in the cloud.
Communication, it sounds simple, but it like saves time, it saves gas, because who wants to be running to the grocery store every day? You know, especially when you have a menu item that you have and you realize, oh my gosh, you're gonna have Alfredo chicken tonight and nobody bought the Alfredo sauce. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta plan, you gotta think about it, you gotta communicate. It's a partnership. It's just a way, you just have to go about this process collaboratively.
All right, I think that's about it for us.
So thank you again for watching this episode. This is going to be our last video in this series, so we're very excited that we have been able to share all this information with you. Of course, again, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to drop it below, let us know. And if you want to watch any of our other videos, and if you have questions about those videos, ask us about it as well. And we will see you next time.
See you next time.